good evening and welcome back to Rangers Radio. Rangers 5, Ross County nothing. Convincing victory. Obviously, James Tavernier blew Fox's bet out the water. Evening, Fox.
Evening. I'll forgive him, mate. I'll forgive him.
It could have been double that 5, eh?
Aye, it could have been 10-2 that game with the ones that hit the posts and bars and everything else. But a thoroughly enjoyable sit down and relax afternoon. I enjoyed that game immensely.
Been critical of our front three and with midfield, if you like, creative players. We've got to be honest with them. Oram as a group were played really well. I don't want to say they were outstanding, but they played really well.
Outstanding as a teammate. And we got goals for the three main sections of play. We got goals for the defenders, goals for the midfielders, and a goal up front for Ryan Kent. So a very pleasing day.
Here, mate. Here. Well, we'll get the phone lines open, brother. What's the number?
It's 0141 356 1972.
Our joins at Skype at RangersRadio.online. We brought in a call by Old School Blue and Fox. If you phone in, hang up and we will bring you into the conversation. Easy as that, Fox, eh?
As simple as that is. Simple as scoring against Ross County.
Missed a penalty. I think their goalie had maybe 2 really good saves, mate, that I can think of. We hit the post with the Kent one. It could have went in when it came back off the goalie. And there was maybe 3 or 4 different chances there. A real good team performance. Nobody was outstanding for me. I thought, but the first half, I thought Alfie led the line very well. And showed that with the goal that Kent got. I thought it was a great bit of forward play. And if you look at it, when Kent, he does it in, watch Alfie's celebration when you watch it back, Fox.
Aye, although he didn't contribute with goals once more, he occupies defenders and leaves space for everybody else. And his assist, his header back for Kent, could have been returned, I think it was later on in the game when Kent had a header. If he'd have knocked it across back to Alfie, that could have been the same sort of scenario and another goal. But very, very pleasing, mate. The quick press was there for the start of the game. I think it's Port Bear says the 7-second rule, win the ball back. We were doing that. We just never let Ross County settled into the game, and I don't believe they're that bad aside, Ross County.
Sometimes when he's a good performance, Port Berry doubles that 7 seconds up.
Aye, well, that's as long as his love life lasts anyway, 7 seconds, isn't it? So he tell me. I don't know. I'm still stuck with rock and roll waltz for the 1960s, mate, or 50s maybe even.
Oh, that was brilliant yesterday. You and Bridgman. Anyway, I thought it was a real team performance. I thought Morelos with some of the touches. Yeah, there was a couple of times he gave the ball away, etc. Then Joe, the second goal, Big Hollander finishes well for a corner, but the third goal, mate, must have given you a lot of pressure. You've been a fan of Joe Aribo's.
Look, he's took a bit of stick here the last couple of games, but these wee individual pieces of brilliance are always in Joe Aribo. He takes the ball for Tav, waltzes past one man, dummies the next one, and then clips it right into the far corner. Absolutely terrific goal. I thought Hollander's header was majestic as well. Although he got left free in the box, he absolutely planted the header, and that was a good goal as well.
Second half started. They started brightly. It caused a bit of us to think, they had the woodwork, and then after about 2 minutes for the second half, literally, Fox, we got control of the game, and we just bossed it constantly, moved them all over the pitch, made chances, nice football. Got guys on the pitch to make minutes. Ryan Jack gets a 4th goal. Nice finish, Fox. Good play by Hadji. Good play by Hadji.
Aye, it was indeed. We made some really exciting runs forward. Quick, slick 1-2s and getting chances for players all the way through that game. As you say, Hadji, although people have a go at him because he loses the ball so many times during the game, his work rate, mate, is good, and he can pick that pass. It looked a simple wee body Ryan Jack, mate, but it was perfectly weighted, and Ryan Jack just swooped it into the goal. And it was good to see him back and scoring as well.
Yeah, and the fifth goal, that fourth goal, Jack's goal, that was the one with a nice move again involving Itten. I actually thought he done well when he came on, Fox.
Aye, that was a typical Rangers goal to me. Slick passing, movement, quick feet. As they say, Hadji gets himself into position for the final ball to Ryan Jack, and it's dispatched away easily by him. But we were creating chances like that all throughout the game. So it wasn't just one individual moment in the game. We were very good all the way through that game. And even the substitutes coming on didn't really hamper us. Once they settled into the game, we just kept on the same way as we were in the first.
How you doing, buddy? How you doing? It's Shuggy for folks, and how am I doing? I'm delighted. I watched the full game in Rangers TV Day. I'm delighted with the display. Totally dominant. Hadji, I thought was very good. Jack came on, he was very good. Ryan Kent was good. I know a lot of people's been going on his bag, but today he answered his critics well. What do you think yourself?
I think what would I give Kent? Shuggy, as soon as he got the goal, you could see that, that gave him a bit between the teeth, and he done really well. And at times he had a burst of pace that we've not seen from him for a few weeks. So hopefully,
I just thought he was trying too hard to get that goal the last few weeks. The seed went down, maybe. I thought Aribo's goal was superb.
Excellent goal.
I think in that form, I hope that's absolutely what we were playing early on the season. That form that's come back. Let's hope Wednesday night against the Highways. I know Ross County are down there, but they destroyed Aberdeen last week, so he's probably went and told them, look, these are a pushover. Big Yogi, he's always got tough old players.
You can only beat what's in front of you, mate.
Aye, but I thought it was brilliant today. I really enjoyed the game on Rangers TV. It was brilliant.
I don't think anybody, Fox, can be disappointed with that today. I don't think we had a bad man in the pitch, Fox.
I don't think so. McGregor had a wee quiet period, didn't have much to do, but I'm quite happy with that. But any time he's a quiet game and he's called upon, he's alert.
And you come, Fox?
I spoke about Ryan Kent in the pre-match show that maybe we were being a little bit overcritical of him. But today he was back to his best. There's only sometimes in a game, I think, when he holds on to the ball, he'll run with it to his usual couple of step overs, whereas most of the other team, it's a quick pass to get going, and sometimes he overdoes it. But all in all, he works well, and he does put in a shift for the team.
I've just seen this table here, by the way, Aberdeen. I know they played the game there, but the way Celtic playing Aberdeen can catch them.
No interest in any of the two teams myself.
No, I've no interest, but wouldn't it be funny if we never even get into the Champions League qualifiers? Because they're the richest team in the world, they used to say.
Well, it'll be the usual Shuggy. If they manage to get there, they'll not be in it that long anyway.
It's all about Rangers in my eyes at the moment. It's all about Rangers. Even down here, it's all about Rangers and Stevie G. And I think Gary McAllister's got his input there. Do you reckon Gary McAllister could be as good without McAllister being beside him and old Ted?
I think the Shuggy that the first thing that Stevie G would say that the people who's got beside him, they're a team.
Aye. But I think Gary McAllister's the sort of guy who likes Stevie T all the plaudits. I'm quite happy just to sit back, enjoy the football and all that.
Personally, I think Gary McAllister's Stevie G's sort of home help or carer. He just looks after.
39, Stevie, he's still quite young. Same as I wouldn't bother me. When Stevie's time's up, hope it's no for a few years yet. Gary McAllister, if he doesn't go to William, I don't think would be a bad manager.
Well, we'll see on the television. We've also been joined by George for UK. Evening, George.
Evening, lads. By the way, I must admit, that's Rangers back to being Rangers again. I thought we were outstanding today. I thought Kent was outstanding.
Was it swashbuckling, George?
But I'll tell you what, see when the boy Nathan Patterson came on, I thought he was dynamic. I thought he was really fast, man. Dynamic.
I agree.
Honestly, he's so fast, by the way, and he's reading the game. He's absolutely brilliant. His passing, that was good enough. I thought we were going to score a few more goals when he was on. I mean, so he's an able deputy, man, to James Tavernier.
I know, people have been saying...
I'm trying to think, I think I predicted 5-0, didn't I?
I think you said it was going to be 5-3, George.
5-0.
I think you might have done, George. You might have done.
5-0. And I predicted the team and all.
You might have done that and all, George. There'll be a prize on its way.
What is it? Hang me. Tell me, you're not getting in the hammer.
No. Fox will send you a rubber or a pencil.
A rubber with hide the sausage.
Fair enough, mate.
It's a deposit for a new couch, George.
You're a gentleman, mate. You're a gentleman.
Happy with that, George. It was a real team performance. I mean, I thought there was some individual touches for different players at time. Excellent. Kent, Morelos, even Hadji, the boy Patterson doing the right when he came on. Tavi self at times done all right. Borna was crossing, he's running. Kamara and Davis just kept plodding and making his play. So for me, it was a real team performance. But, George, that's the way we were playing at the start of the season.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I say. That's Rangers back. The Rangers were used to in the thing, like in the early games, like back to the St John's team game. Not talking about that. That's the Rangers we kept them pinned in their own half. Not talking about. I mean, don't get me wrong. They had a couple of shots that hit the post, by you know what I mean. That sloppy kind of took an eye after Bobby, but man, know what I mean. At the end of the day, man, the majority of the time they were pinned in their own half, man, or even in their own box. That's the way Rangers should play. We should be going all out, man, for even more goals. That's the way to go, and I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. All right, we've been joined by Del. Evening, Del. Evening, Del. Oh, seems to. Evening, Del. No, he's gone. Shuggy.
How you doing, buddy?
It's getting close, Shuggy, and we've got to be really happy with that. You'd have took 5-0 all day long at the start of the game, mate.
That young lad that was on just there made some great points.
Young George.
Good points.
Young George. I'll be me.
Say hello to him for us. Young George. How you doing, young George?
I'm brand new. It's good when you're young when you're only 56, isn't it?
I'm 56 myself, aye.
We're just boys, mate. We're just boys.
We're just 56. They're still think I'm 18.
Now, tell me about it, mate. Tell me.
Aye, I've got a Rice Krispie body. Keeps snap, crackling and popping, but I still think I'm 18. A few beers in me, I think I'm the best dancer. I suffer for about a week after it.
I won a dance competition. I was only going to get a pack of Chris.
Oh, good God. I keep second then. I think somebody beat me.
Dear, dear.
Brilliant. I'm so happy to see that display today. It was a display we've not had this year at all for the last few games.
Aye.
But we still didn't lose any games at it.
No.
We still won game and drew one with the.
I think we're going to be happy. The stats tell us in the league.
Do you want something?
Yes, George.
We're second in Europe to Hingme. Athletic Madrid is the team that's lost to Hingme. The least goals.
Well, we never lost any of the day. I think Dell's with us now. Evening, Dell.
Evening, Oaks. How you doing, pal? Sorry about that. That was one of the, part of the tab your head and rub your tummy at the same time. I was trying to turn the...
Good evening, Dell.
How are you doing, boys? How are you doing? Great result. Great result.
We're all happy beers today. We're all happy beers. I'm running out of beer. I need to get back down to the shop and get some more.
Well, you've heard from me, and I'm the most positive person in the world, and that just backs everything up. And that's what I'm on for, because I was night shift this week and I was listening in. And sometimes I think we keep our powder dry that you say in this programme all the time. And what really annoyed me was Wednesday night, because I started at 6, I listened to, the programme that's on between 6 and 8, and then I was listening to yourself. And you've got Rangers fans phoning up about David Martindale playing a weekend team. And you're thinking, what are you doing, boys?
It was comedy. It was comedy.
No, but well, I heard the conversation on this channel when Livy scored the second when he's in the middle of his rant about it. And you're thinking to yourself, we're going to win this league, I reckon, 4 weeks, right? So we're then going to have Europe, and we might have important European games, and we're going to be playing teams at the bottom of the league before the split. And you're thinking to yourself, are these same guys going to phone in and go, Rangers are resting players because they've got a big European game?
What other teams do or don't do? It's nothing to do with us. And also, people, it's all about opinions, Del. Everybody sees football slightly different, yeah. And we respect your opinion, we respect anybody's opinion that comes on the show, you know what I mean? Yeah. Aye. People they're just nervous, mate, and the expectations are high. They don't. We're not thinking rationally because we're all, as a support, as a collective, we're nervous, mate, because we just want to go over the line. If that makes any sense.
Me and Neil's left.
Does that make sense, Still?
Makes great sense. That's how I feel sometimes. I'm not going to say we're champions till we actually say the league's over.
There's things that people have got in their mind that are known in normal circumstances. People are concerned about. They've mentioned the words null and void. I'm personally not concerned about it, but people are entitled to feel that. I can't stop them. We'll be joined by Gary. Evening, Gary.
Oh, you all right? How we doing, guys? You all right?
I'm great, Gary. Great, Gary. Brilliant, buddy. Brilliant, Gary.
You'd be happy with that, guys?
Yeah, much more happier. Not just the scoreline. It's just how the team played. They had more of a spring in their step right at the start of the game, and happy. There was a wee bit of a lull as they made the 4 subs, but that's going to happen until they get up to speed of the game. But after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they come on for 60 to 70 minutes. After 70 minutes, they really kicked on. Really impressed. I think a lot of it, to be honest with you, is down to the team and the players just having players like Jack on the bench. I think that gives them that psychological edge, knowing that Jack's an unsung hero. He's never ever going to be. He's never going to win an award for best player in the league or anything like that. A bit like Steve Davis. He's consistently very, very good at what he does.
Steve Davis. Steve Davis has been brilliant.
No, I'm not down. Listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he's never going to win Player of the Year or anything like that.
Oh, wait a minute, mate. When the voting comes out, mate, Stephen Davis is going to be there.
No, I'm trying to just try and get what I'm saying. He's not a flair player. Just does the very basics very, very well.
Okay, he's good at his job, yeah?
Aye, that's what I'm saying. He's exceptional at what he does, but he's more respected for the stuff that it's... I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to say what I'm thinking, but I hope you're with me here. It's just he's exceptional at doing the basics very, very well, and that's what Ryan Jack does. And having somebody like him on the bench just gives the players, the professionals in the team, that wee extra spring in their step. Just knowing that you've got somebody like that back in the squad and on the bench. And I was really happy with how he came back in and got his goal.
There you go, George.
What can I say? What do you reckon?
Shoggy, your name's Shoggy, no George.
Gary. Sorry, bud.
What is it
Zunga does? Because I don't know yet.
Oh, listen, I think the boy Zungu, right, is it's still very early days, very, very early days. You know,
man, he's like Bambi, isn't he? It's easy to judge a player and say he's not up to it when he's coming into a stellar team that's performing on the highest level. And when you're looking at a boy and saying, he's not up to it.
No, George, I get it. We've not seen enough of him to judge, but he came on a wee couple of minutes to get up to speed. But he did show a variation of passes today that we've not seen from long and short. But I'm with you in the fact is that if you were saying, would you sign Zunga as a support? We've not seen enough of him to judge, George. Yeah, if that makes sense.
I totally agree with you there, mate. 100%. You're bang on the money with that one.
You know, I like the fact he's not a passenger. I like the fact he's not a passenger. He came onto that game and he was prepared to mix it up a wee bit and put himself about and try and get involved. Obviously, I think the yellow card he got was more for accumulation because he went. I don't think the actual yellow he got for that foul was a yellow in itself, but he'd put in about 3 or 4 by the time he got that yellow.
So Rangers one. I've got 2 Rangers stations.
But the end of the day, by man, not me.
On the Rangers station.
Their player consistently fell and never even get a yellow card.
Shuggy, if you folks knew what to phone back in, by all means do, but we didn't want to get caught in your conversation. Listen, you got a yellow card for pretty nothing, but well, let's look at the positives. We got Foxy Boy. We managed to use 16 players today. I thought it was great to see Nathan Patterson getting a game. I think Alfie taught Sab how to come off the park. I don't know if you picked up on that. I don't know. I don't have a problem with that. If it's shown that they want to style and play, there's nothing wrong with that for me, Fox.
I thought Alfie was all right.
Aye, I thought Alfie was excellent. On you go, Fox.
Aye. I mean, all round, mate, every one of the players played their part in that 5-0 victory. The boy Zungu, whether we sign him, we've got the option to sign him, whether Stephen Gerrard and Gary McAllister think he is a player for next year is still to be seen yet. As for the other players, I mean, I like the comments about Ryan Jack and Stephen Davis get forgot about there because he went off one of the first substitutes off, and he had an absolutely exceptional game of just taking the ball, and it's a lesson to any young professional on how to distribute the ball when you get it. Takes it under any conditions and dispatches it. Hardly misses a pass. Absolutely terrific display with him in the first half as well.
Dale, when you come, mate.
No, I was just going to say, you're talking about Zungu. He was the one player that the manager name-checked in his press conference yesterday.
Aye, did that.
Well, obviously, other than the returning players, what I was looking at was, I know we bitch about the supercomputer and all that, but that's us won every game at home. We've lost 1 goal, and I know that we talk about could MD have seen this coming, and we couldn't have. So it might have came down to a wee bit nearer the wire. Now, I know it's ifs and buts, but the only game as it stands in the top 6 in that we have away after the split would be Canada's. Every other game we've got would be at home, and we've not dropped anything. We've lost 1 goal at home. So I don't know how the supercomputer sort of worked that one out, that we're going to have every advantage going into the break or a split.
We'll not get 4 games at home in the split, mate.
Nah.
It'll not happen. It's never happened. Bizarrely. It just shows how bad Scottish football is and how bad an.
But have you got to play 3 away games then, you mean?
Well, we went to Pataudry before 3 times in one season, mate.
We will on the split we will have 3 home games and 2 away.
Alright. I think Baloo's joined us. I think he's in.
I'm here. How you doing, boys? Good
afternoon. How we doing, Baloo? Great to have you on, mate.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Afternoon, lads. Good show again. Enjoyed the pre-match show as well. No, Fantastic. What a performance today. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely
team performance, team performance.
Oh, that's what I mean. Every single player, the only one we didn't see really get any work done was McGregor, but I mean, the whole team, top to bottom, to the first minute right through, absolutely fabulous. And funnily enough, Fox was saying before the start, I think it was Fox before the game kicked off, he thought people are unkind to or unfair to Ryan Kent because, he's a winger and, wingers come in and out of games and I agree wholeheartedly everything he said, but he came out the day, Kent, and for the minute the ball kicked off, it was just immense. So, great, what a performance. It was actually hard to pick a man of the match today.
I would agree with that because I think there was matches people were better at different times. In the last half hour, you would struggle to argue against Ryan Jack, maybe even Hadji for the last half hour.
Hadji was my second choice today. My man of the match would have been Barisic. There
you go. Nobody's even mentioned him. You're the first to mention him on the show. We'll be joined by a caller, but we'll come right back to you. Evening caller.
How's it going, boys?
Name, mate? What's your name?
My name's Callum McGregor, but I'm the real Callum McGregor.
we know that Callum listens all the time, mate, because it's his first love.
I know. I should. Hey, boys, I tell you what, I've took some abuse over the last 6, 7, 8 years. Know what I mean? But now it's starting to look good, isn't it? I mean, even before the last
you'll be all right when you move to Leicester, mate.
I know that's it, isn't it? Fair one. But getting back to the serious stuff, and he doesn't even spell his name right. I mean, it's not even the proper way. So, but anyway, on to the business, innit? I just want to say, I've just watched Gerrard's interview at the end of the game. That guy is just pure class. He's just the way he represents our club is nothing short of exemplary. You know what I mean? He just fills you with pride. You know what I mean? And I don't think what he's done tactically this season has been amazing. But every time he goes for an interview, win, lose or draw, he makes us proud. You know what I mean? And I don't know. His picture's going to be up in Ibrox for 100 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Would you say, Callum McGregor, that he's the kind of manager that you would like to play for?
But to be honest, 100%, innit? He's the kind of manager every player would like to play for, innit?
I get it.
Can I just say at any point, you said win, lose or draw. I don't remember any losses, mate. Sorry.
Well, I know, not for a long time, and let's hope that continues to the end of the season, boys, innit? But I think the other point I was going to make tonight, guys, is I've been saying this for weeks, right? Ryan Kent just needed a wee rest, innit? The guy was on fire today. You know? I mean, he's like he floats about the pitch, the same as Hadji. And I think some Rangers fans have been a wee bit critical, but we need that. Ryan Kent, we need for the run-in and for the European. I mean, the wee guy looked brilliant tonight, and I think he's had a wee dip, and now hopefully he hits top form, and we're going to, the European thing's looking good now.
Baloo, Ken, that goal, it was a great finish. He delivered it, and then after that, I think the confidence just came back into his boots.
Oh, completely. But you could see him shooting for it. See when that ball was in the air, because it was a loop. Halfway, it was a looping header. There was no weight in it. It was just floating, and you could see the way he was shaping, the way the camera was, right behind him. It was just going to try and lob it up. What a goal! Absolutely fantastic. He knew exactly.
I think the most important thing was his reaction. He was so happy to get that goal as well.
I'm going to tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to go on mute and we're going to hear through our manager in his 150th game, Steven Gerrard, MBE. Get yourself on mute on your phones.
Speak to him. Hi, Stephen. It's Hello. Becky, Neil and Mark here. Congratulations, 3 points. What did you make of that performance?
Yeah, I thought it was really strong. Another home win and a clean sheet. Obviously 5 different scorers, a couple of set plays. So going to go away very happy, obviously.
Yeah, what pleased you more today? The fact you kept a clean sheet, or that you had 5 different goals by 5 different players on the pitch?
I think then both things obviously please me as a manager, but you've obviously got to pick the bones out of it in more detail than that. And I thought we played with real urgency today, both in and out of possession. We flipped the formation a bit to a 4-2-3-1 to be a bit more bold and aggressive and really take the game to Ross County. And then we could have had the game done in the first 15 minutes, if we scored a penalty and the one that Ryan hits the post. I just thought we looked really dangerous throughout, and we played some really nice football. We showed a real good style about us, but out of possession as well. We done the dirty side of the game, the ugly bits, the running, the tackles, the competing. So I think in the main, we were fantastic today.
Stevie, it's Neil. Well done.
Hi, Neil,
I know you're
great.
talking about the rotation of the midfield three. You could see it right away where Rebo was playing a little bit closer to the front line.
Yeah.
But there seemed to me there was a massive emphasis today on players hitting the box, whereas the first 45 minutes of the game last week, that sort of lacked a wee bit. Was that something that you definitely worked on and you wanted to really get the players to do?
Yeah, I think from an individual point of view, we want the players to be extremely hungry to score goals. We want them to really hit them dangerous areas. I know you sit next to Mark there; he'll know all about it. Running through that goal and getting into that red zone, we call it, to score goals. And Ryan ends up getting rewarded for that. Of late, we've had too many people hanging outside the box and not really getting in there. So there was an emphasis on the training in terms of urgency, and then when we get into the areas, whether it be combination play or 1v1 or crosses, we want people to really go and bust the gut and get in there and reward themselves for the good play.
Kent was back at it today, wasn't he? That's the best I've seen him for a few weeks.
Yeah, I thought he was outstanding. I think when he does that selfless running without the ball, when he breaks the line, running without the ball, we know he can play with the ball at his feet. We know he's fast. We know he can pass. But I think an extra dimension to his game, which we're keen on, is he's got to break the line and run behind, because it gives us such a different option to go over. If we don't get the first ball, we can pick up the seconds. But when we're up against these blocks, we have to keep disrupting it in as many ways as possible. We can't keep playing in front of teams for the whole game. But he was certainly right back at it today. I think he could have had a hat-trick, but throughout he was a real threat. And the job he does for the team out of possession as well is the reason why I trust him so much.
Yeah, Stephen, well done today.
Thanks,
aggressiveness is a big part of the way we play the game. I saw it in abundance today, right from the first whistle, and see the aggressiveness that rolls over to the other players with balls. And we're talking about Kent making the run through the middle. The balls that we're playing now, aggressive balls. Is that what we're looking for? Middle to last third.
Yeah, well, listen, a big job and emphasis today was on Davis and Kamara really being obsessed with finding our tens and playing forward, playing with a head up. Even when we're in the full-back areas, be obsessed to outplay and really play forward into buff. And we wanted the front four on the ball as much as we can. The speed in which we done that was fantastic. We played with that urgency. And, the last couple of games we've played, Aberdeen, we left the game too early on 60 minutes. We stopped doing the right things. And last week we came to the game too late. So we asked for a 90-minute performance and the players have delivered.
Well, Stephen, just finally from us, it's your 150th game in charge of the club. A smile over your face there. How much are you enjoying it at Rangers?
Listen, I'm loving it. I'm absolutely honoured and privileged to be in this position, to get the opportunity in the first place. I really understand what the club stands for. I looked in from afar for many years and I had nothing but respect for this club. So to be 150 games in, I'm delighted. But it's not about me. It's about this team and getting the group, successful as soon as possible. That's the challenge. That's what I'll be judged on. It's one step at a time, but we're in a fantastic place, and we need to get the boys recovered now and ready for Wednesday night, which is a huge game for us. But 150, I'd like to thank the players, the supporters and everyone that's backed me at the club. It's been a hell of a journey. It's been intense and challenging, but I've loved the ride so far.
Thanks for that, Terry. Old school boy, Fox. Callum, he is a class act.
That's just brilliant. I mean, it was good to hear that again as well.
He's a big part of this project, but we'll talk about him tonight. This is an aftermatch show, and it's about the players. And tonight, in our team, or this afternoon in our team, I don't think there was any failures. I think we showed, against limited opposition, they weren't great, but you can only beat what's in front of you, and it was a thoroughly...
They beat Aberdeen 4-1 last week as well, you know what I mean? I think it was a worry playing them today, you know what I mean? We needed a big performance, and we done it.
We definitely got that, Dale, in abundance, didn't we?
Oh, 100%. I actually just wanted to clap when I listened to that there. I mean, you would imagine he said that in front of fans, you'd all be going mental. But no, it's just the way that we're going forward, and it's just superb. I mean, what more can you say? As you say, you can only beat what's in front of you. But before the game, it's their resurgence. They beat Aberdeen 4-1 and blah, blah, blah. And I know what he's saying about last week. We didn't start the first 45 minutes. But can you imagine the games last season? You know, whereas when we equalised in the 72nd minute last week, you're thinking we've got to win this. And you're so disappointed when we don't. And then the day, that's us back on track. And I see no problems on Wednesday night either.
What did you think of Ryan Jack, Dale?
I'm just so glad. I'm so glad he's back, because it's like when you listen to some of them. I mean, I know Stevie G is just a different class, but when you listen to games we played this season, when we played Aberdeen and they didn't have Ferguson and Hedges because of COVID, and we've been with Ruth, Arfield, and Jack. I mean, Jack's not played for November, and if he's not the top midfielder in Scotland, he's one of the top three. And we play with him. Scott Arfield, one of the top three midfielders in Scotland. We've not got him. Ruth, probably one of the, if not the best forward within the top 2 or 3. And we play with these guys. We don't bitch about it. We just go on with it. And then you get that player back today and you're thinking, yeah, beauty.
100%.
George VK, before we go to Robert, I think today even the manager with the substitutions, getting the other players involved, I thought it was excellent.
Mate, he got it pure bang on. I mean, honestly, man, I had my doubts about that Nathan Barton, but seeing him come on, man, I was like to myself, this boy's a player, by the way. He's a player. I mean, plus the other substitutions, I'm not excellent and all, but I'll tell you something, by man. I felt sorry for Alfredo going out, because I thought Alfredo was cracking the day, by man. See that goal for Kent? See that in between 2 defenders, that cushioned header? I thought that was brilliant. Brilliant goal.
Right, well done. Well said, George.
I think that's what a lot of the support's missed this year, isn't it? Is Alfredo's done so much work for everybody else. I mean, he's been used as more of a number 10. I mean, he's tireless, the stuff he's done.
By the way, it was a great header he gave to Kent, because he was between the 2 centre-halves. Anyway, we'll be joined by Robert. How are we doing, Robert?
Afternoon, Ox. Afternoon, everybody at Rangers Radio. Yeah, I'm good, George. Thanks very much.
You'd enjoyed that, Robert?
Sorry?
You'd enjoyed that.
Oh, mate, what can we say? 98 won, 32 drawn, and 20 lost. 150 not out. Stephen Gerrard, MBE, well on his way to become a Glasgow Rangers legend. Unbelievable. But can I just say a wee point, looking at the game of the day and looking at this season in whole, and touching on something Gary said earlier on. See that wee General Davis, that wee linchpin in our midfield? See what business for General Davis? I don't think we'd be 23 points in front of our nearest rivals at this moment in time. I think that wee guy's been phenomenal. And if he hadn't been off after 60 minutes today, I think he'd get man of the match. And there were so many players today you could have maybe put up for man of the match. Ryan Kent was outstanding. I thought we had you worked his ass off. Thought he was brilliant. Big Hollander, he gives us that balance at the back, and I think he's got to start more games. I think he's brilliant. But I've got to give special mention to, as I call him, wee General Davis, the linchpin. I just think this guy's phenomenal, and I think I think he's well on the way to get Player of the Year. The way it's going, I think he's up there with Calvin Golston for Player of the Year, and I just can see wee General Davis getting it. That's my thoughts.
You know, I'm a big fan of Sir Stephen Davis, Robert. I thought he was excellent, but I don't think anybody was 9 out of 10 today. I thought it was a 9 out of 10 team performance with everybody being really, really good. I don't know what you think of that, Gary.
Hi, Robert's bang on there. I think, the players that, I've said this before, in order to wipe teams aside, you need everybody to be, 7 or 8 out of 10. I think that's what we got today. A really, really, really strong performance. A high average right across the team. I always maintain that, in order to be a championship winning team, I said this right for the start of the season, since we didn't concede any goals in pre-season. And I said, the old Alex Ferguson, attacks win you games, but defences win you leagues. And I was saying that right for the start of the season, how well we were defending. And that's what got me excited. There's a reason why I think there's only once in the last 30 years that one defender won the Ballon d'Or.
How you doing, buddy?
So you need to be quiet when you come in. There's other people here, right? Calm down. We'll bring you in.
Right, no bother. I'm calm down now, buddy.
All right. Cheers. Carry on,
I've been enjoying your show.
Cheers, mate. You're a gent. Cheers, Gary. Carry on.
There's a reason why defenders don't win the Ballon d'Or as often as attacking players, and it's because the defence is a wee bit boring, across the board. Cannavaro's the only person that's won it in the last 30 years or something like that. And attackers got all the plaudits. But, the football's a bit more than just attacking and scoring goals. You've got to defend well, and that's how you win things, is by defending well. And we've done that well all season. And I think the two main players are Stephen Davis and Jack, and they were sharing that role, that kind of midfield general, controlling and bossing that engine room in front of the defence and shoring up that defence. Right. I know that we're no big fans of the Scotland set up, but it's interesting that how well Scotland played when Ryan Jack was introduced to that team.
He was the best player. We've also been joined. Thanks, mate. Thanks very much. We've been joined by Darren. Evening, Darren. How are we doing?
Good evening, panel. How are we doing?
Everybody's happy, mate. Everybody's happy. Fox is a bit gutted.
Fantastic result.
Great result, mate. Yeah.
Right, another fantastic result. We just take that one out and look to Wednesday night's game. That's another 3 points again. But Jack, what a performance he brought to the team today. Fairly impressed with him after being out for so long.
He had an excellent game. Shuggy, in you come. Ryan Jack, you enjoy watching him?
How you doing, lads?
All right, mate.
Great. Good. I've been listening to these all night, and there have been some great points. Some I've definitely agreed with, one or two I haven't. But that's what a good show's all about. The respect each other's points, whether you agree or not.
Aye, it's all about. Listen, it's all about opinions. Everybody sees the game slightly different. Win, lose or draw. People have got favourite players, different players. Some people like runners. Some people like dribblers. Some people like strong centre halves. Everybody sees the game slightly different. But at the end of the day, George VK, the thing we've all got in common is we want to see the Rangers win.
100%, man. 100%, man. It's the Rangers' dreams, isn't it, man? Want to lift that title by. I mean, I swear to God, I don't know what I'm going to do when that happens, man. I'm going to gaff my melon, by the way. I swear to God, man. I don't. Georgie Square. I don't give a damn. I'm gone. You better believe it. Come on, that's it, they bells.
Can I say something, please?
On you go, Shuggy.
Well, what it is this is going to take me back to Helicopter Sunday when we won this league. I remember it well. Minutes to go, Celtic 1-0 up. Rangers beat Hibs 1-0 up. Then, Scott, what was his second name again? The Australian equalised. And then he scored the second. Oh, I remember that like yesterday. And I cried. I took the next day off work because it was a Sunday and went out and got myself wrecked out my head, celebrated, and I couldn't lift my head off the pillow the next morning. That was one of my greatest days of football.
That's not the Protestant work ethic we're looking for, mate. You should be able to get up and go to your work.
Well, after about 15, 16 pints on a Sunday night.
That's a poor show. That's only a starter session. Did you know?
Well, I'm the weakest link. No, but what a day that was. And I think this is going to at least equal it. At least equal it.
But Louis, you must have been back in the house for 6 o'clock that night, huh?
What the hell?
Locked in the kitchen or something. Once you get Hoover and finish it, he went out for a beer. No, I think this will eclipse Helicopter Sunday. I think this will wipe it out. This is different class.
Oh, but this is different altogether. Del boy.
This is the next level.
No, I just love the fact that he went. It was Helicopter Sunday and it happened on a Sunday. That was brilliant.
Back in.
If it's a Sunday, they'll be going to work the next day.
Oh, you always make your work, mate. You always make your work.
Back in.
Where are we?
Somebody try to come in there, Ox.
Who was it? Who came in there? Who did I hear? Might have been Darren. Was that you, Darren?
Aye, it was me. What do you think about Wednesday night then, Jack? It'll be same team, same again.
Mate, we'll part that.
I'll drink Jack will come in, Jack will start.
We've got 4 hours of football to talk about before we start building up to the Hibs game, mate. So we'll leave the thought of the Hibs game to maybe Monday late on or Tuesday night when we're talking about that, and then we get the injuries in. But I think you couldn't argue with anybody who gets a start in their squad. Yeah. That's how consistent, that's how good a performance that was today, Gary.
Very strong performance today. As I say, for me, the scoreline's a bonus, but it's more about the performance and how well we moved the ball. I come on after the Aberdeen game and said I wasn't happy with how they kind of... I called it pedestrian, and it was before Stephen Gerrard spoke. But much better today. Everybody had a spring in their step, and it's brilliant how they kept going to the final whistle as well, as if we're chasing a goal. It sends a message. That's the thing. It's psychological.
Yeah. The first whistle to the end whistle, it was just a case of keep going right at their throats, Then it was a really good performance. Obviously, the Rangers,
Robert, you came in and you made the tribute to Stephen Gerrard, but what he's built, mate, he's built as a team, isn't he?
Oh, it's fantastic. And see me look at some of the football again. People come round the side and say it was only Ross County you came 5 halfway. And I've seen Ross County went down to Torbert's Towers and won 2-0. The same Ross County came 4 half Aberdeen last week. So let's not forget about that. He's built a fantastic team, a fantastic squad. And I just thought some of the football today. See when Rangers play on the front foot. This is what I've been saying all along, but we'll agree. We've been playing in second gear most of the season, and see when that team really opens up and comes out and plays that high tempo, and that's what big Phil Hollander does. Big Phil Hollander gets us up that park. I love see that big guy. He's got to be in the team there. He gets us up that park a lot better, and I just thought today the tempo. I've seen it right for the very first minute, unlike Motherwell last week we didn't see it. The first minute I seen it today, and I said to my boy after 2 minutes, we're going to win this comfortably. I tipped 3-0 before the game, but just some of the football today, and guys, come on, I've been going on about this boy for the last 18 months or so, and I predicted in a year's time or two he'll be worth at least 10 million. Joe Aribo's goal, how good was that goal today? Unbelievable.
Absolutely brilliant. I mean, he skinned that boy in the corner, then just waltzed through the next player. I actually thought he was going to square it. I thought he was going to put it into the middle, but where he put it in the air was unbelievable. He just entered the far post. Real quality finish. I think he's one of the best players we've got. Aribo, love him.
He brings us something different, Dale.
Yeah, I just love the guy, and I love the way that we quote 10 million for these guys when they're going to be worth so much more. And I said it on here, that Haji's going to be, by the time he leaves us, and they will, I mean, we're a big fish in a small pond, and these guys are just, but hopefully they'll stay long enough that they'll develop them. But I mean, Aribo, you'd be looking 20 mil if they moved into England. Kamara, 20 mil. Haji's going to be a £30 million player. He can stand on knee on these things. I watch these plays and they are quality and they're coming on leaps and bounds. And I know we've had wee dips for 20 minutes against Aberdeen, 45 minutes against Motherwell, 21 minutes against Celtic. But other than that, we have completely dominated every single game we played, apart from those wee stupid lapses. And I just think it's wonderful to watch, and just long may it continue.
Yeah. By the way, so if we don't get that money for the players, you're going to make up the difference.
I most certainly will. It's going to be a bit overtime, mate.
Oh, hell, listen, I've not got that sort of dosh, mate. You can't come to me for that. But I think he's actually right. I mean, some of these boys, they're going to get real good going. And what I think is my favourite at the moment is, let's assume 55 in the bag, we win the league. If we continue to keep going in the Europa League and maybe do well in that, I would question the sanity of any player that would consider leaving a team that has just picked up their first trophies, that have done well in Europe, that are going into the Champions League. I think we'll actually manage to hang on to an awful lot of these players that we want to keep. Because I think it might either be you or Fox earlier on said, I think it was Fox about Kent, he said if he goes then it's no ambition. And that's what I think. I can't imagine why anybody would leave a club like Rangers at a time when they've just won the first championship and you're going into the Champions League.
Can I jump in that, Paul?
Let him finish, Darren. Let him finish. Sorry, Dale. Let him finish.
No, I was quite all right. I was quite all right with that. That was me. I've done. I'm just saying. I don't see
when you go.
Sorry, I probably had finished. My apologies if I hadn't. But what has been said in so many, it's been said on this channel loads of times. It's been said on mainstream media. It's been said on everything that the chance to play with Steven Gerrard, you know you're going to improve as a player. But to improve as a player, you must have ambition, and yet we'll pay top dollar for Scotland. But these guys, like any football player, any workman, is going to say, well, I could go and double, treble, quadruple my money somewhere. There will be a time that they'll leave, but what they'll be doing in the interim is going, I'm going to stay and I'm going to work and I'm going to learn for this man. I'm learning for this guy, and he is going to make me. I mean, guys that are going to, like, obviously Hadji Swearers was a superstar. Aribo's got a chance. Kamara, when you hear them talking about what happens, even Zungu the other day, he's like, I go to the gaffer and I say, look, I want to improve this, I want to improve that, I need to get better. So, of course, they're going to stay for as long as they've got Steven Gerrard there teaching them.
It depends what your motivation is, success or though. Everybody's slightly different, but I take your point. If somebody comes in with quadruple your money, most people move jobs, and that's what we're talking about. Gary?
Can I put a spin on that? I think we've got to understand that as much as Rangers or the fans or the players might even want to stay and compete and get better and stuff, Rangers as a business model now, the new Rangers in 2021, part of their success has to be offloading players for a profit, and that's part of how we're going to have to grease the wheels to keep the big machine moving forward. As I've said before, Rangers are a massive football club. However, unfortunately, we compete in a very small league, which domestically only gives us a certain amount of money. And in order to compete on the European stage, we have to surplus that income from the domestic league with income from elsewhere. And unfortunately, that will be going forward, having to look for moving players on at a profit. So bring them in, coach them up, and then look to offload them on the market for money.
Listen, these are great debates and great topics when we're having a show. But George EK, this is all about the result and beating Ross County 5-0 today. Sum up how you're feeling with the performance and the result.
Mate, I'm ecstatic with the result. Totally ecstatic, man. I thought we were absolutely brilliant today. I mean, every player was absolutely fantastic, man. Done their bit and played the game. And we played as Rangers should play, on the front foot, attacking all the time, baby. And the result is we turned out 5-0 winners. And what more can you say? That's what every Rangers player wants.
But George, was it swashbuckling?
It was swashbuckling, mate. It was swashbuckling.
All right.
I can back it up.
Darren?
Can I say something there? Mate, can I say something there, Oxia?
Yes, mate.
Do you know what? I can't understand, man, a professional footballer, man. He leaves the club like Rangers, by you know what I mean? He get a chance to win silverware and all the rest of it, man, right? And he moves to like some wee club for more money, and his kids go, what did you win there? Look, this trophy cabinet, man, it's got one player of the month trophy in it, man, know what I mean? And the rest of it's all dust. They go, man, hey, win that with Brentford. Know what I mean?
I get it, but we could also turn around you could also turn around and see that Ferrari and swimming pool. That's what I want.
Aye. Well, all the stuff.
It's not just that as well. Think to players like Rino Gattuso, who played for Rangers. We sold him to Salernitana. Then he moved on to Milan and won everything in the game. So you've got to kind of broaden your horizon as the players. We are Rangers fans, so it's in our hearts. And when players join, players like Mark Hateley and stuff like that, it gets in their hearts as well. But that's not for everybody. Sometimes they're just professionals who come and do a job. And the Rangers will always be in their hearts, but their ambitions might be bigger than the club. That's just unfortunately the way it is.
People come and go all the time. That's professional football. Was it Baloo wanted to come back in there?
I was just going to go on the topic you said there about the game. Game is absolutely fantastic. Swashbuckling's a good one, but it doesn't suit football, does it? You know what I mean? But it was fantastic performance.
It suits Georgie's football.
Wow, what about what's his name, Bridge? Did he know buckle a few? But I'm saying that, but about the game, brilliant for start to finish. There wasn't a disappointment, even in all the subs that came on. And I know Zungu was mentioned, but I thought Zungu looked like some of his passing today was pretty good. He wasn't hiding for the ball, so no, I think everyone Zungu might benefit for a pre-season, but generally speaking, what a squad, what a team, what a performance today. Perfect, loved it.
What did you say there? What a squad, what a performance, what a team.
Aye.
What you end the show. Darren, you have the last word, Darren.
It's just obviously saying about the game. The game was obviously, we were at it first whistle to last whistle. It was just a good team performance, good on the boys, obviously getting the result. Same with the subs came on as well. You know what I mean? It was basically, obviously, they came on and put stuff into the game that we, obviously Jack was incredible when he came on. So just let's obviously move on to Wednesday night. Obviously talk about it Tuesday. Another 3 points obviously in the bag. Get the points on the board.
Yeah, mate. Last word to my mate Fox, who went in heavy on a 6-0 and nearly got it. Fox.
Aye. And a day when Rangers marched 23 points clear at the top of the league, mate. That is what we've all dreamed of all season. And just keep it going for the Rangers. Because the Rangers really need us.
Keep it going for the Rangers. Well, this will please some people and not please others. But Rangers Radio, because of the lockdown, will be back tonight, 8 o'clock for 1 hour. With a special show. Thanks to Old School Blue. Everybody's welcome to join us then. Thanks to all the callers who phoned in. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for putting the show on. It's been a pleasure. Great result, great performance. And everybody, please stay safe. Take it away, Foxy boy. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. Won't you come and cheer us? Help the boys along. White and blue, coming through with a song. Oh, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. We'll be there to do it, Rangers. Do it if we can, Rangers. Win the cup, hold it up in our hands. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way.
Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we run away. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay.